Well, right now we are joined by the Member of Parliament for Beaches East York in Toronto, Nathaniel Erskine-Smith. Nathaniel, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I know we're at the National Liberal Party convention here, but I do have to ask about the provincial, because you are, at this point, exploring a possible run for the Liberal leadership in Ontario. Are you close to making a decision?
Very close to making a decision. I've traveled to now over 50 ridings across the province to build a team in every corner of the province, and it's been going better than I expected. And frankly, it's interesting talking to you from this convention, because 10 years ago, the federal Liberal Party was in need of serious generational renewal, a Liberal Party in third place, and a very frustrating conservative majority government. And all of those parallels actually apply provincially right now, and we need that same kind of renewal, and I think there's a real desire for it at the grassroots level.
Okay, talk to us about what kind of renewal is needed, because it is very interesting to see the thousands of people that have gathered here, and quite frankly, from partisans, they're very, very excited to see the Prime Minister. They're very excited to see each other. A very safe space for Liberals, but I don't know if Ontario is a safe space for Liberals right now, especially for the provincial party.
There are challenging areas of this province only because we have given up on those areas of the province as Liberals. My father-in-law in Sarnia Lambton will say that the party gave up on our community before our community gave up on the party, and so it really is back to basics. It is building an active presence in every single community, engaging grassroots Liberals in their community, not only engagement, but then accountability to that same grassroots. It's, I think, really important to redefine in a serious way what we stand for, and I think it's competence, it's compassion, it's integrity. Those are the things that I care about as a Liberal. It's a strong economic agenda matched with serious compassion and fairness for those in need, and at all times, honesty and integrity. And it's also back to basics, whether it's Northern Ontario, whether it's Southwestern Ontario, everywhere in between. Access to a family doctor, mental health and addictions, seniors care, housing affordability, environmental protections, quality public education for our kids. It is the same issues that people are affected by on a day-to-day. Now, there are some unique challenges in Northern Ontario with transportation, but overwhelmingly what I've heard, the same concerns come up no matter the region, and we as a party have to speak to those issues and have serious answers to those issues.
But how do you speak to those issues when you have the government of Doug Ford re-elected with a large majority right now, and for the most part enjoying pretty good support in the province of Ontario?
When I look at question of competence, and then I see mismanagement of the healthcare system, and I see a government that makes major commitments on building housing, and housing is a generational fairness challenge, a productivity challenge to our province, and we are massively failing at delivering on those big ambitious promises that were made. So I don't see any competence. When I see that question of compassion, and I look at the treatment of education workers, or I look at the absolute failure to look after those in the greatest need, whether on OW or ODSP, when I look at that question of honesty and integrity, and you see the sell-off of the Greenbelt, or you see the 95-year lease at Ontario Place backroom deals, you run down the list, and the values that I want to see in government, I don't see in this government. And it's not enough to swallow a bee and get a bad haircut and be charming. Of course, we want charm in our politics. We also deserve seriousness in our politics, and we deserve, I don't see the seriousness that I want, and I think there is a frustration in my travels across the province. People do want competence and they want integrity.
Except that the government with which you're a part of right now, of course the Liberal government here in Ottawa, it has found a fairly comfortable, it seems, working relationship with the Doug Ford government. Does that make it difficult for you to kind of square that circle?
I don't think so, because I have worked with colleagues to deliver change across party lines. I worked with colleagues from the Conservative Party, from the NDP, from the Green Party, and it's still, when you take a step back and you look at the big picture challenges and the solutions to those challenges, we as a party have the most serious, credible set of solutions. And so similarly, it's great that we were able to work with the Ford government to deliver jobs in St. Thomas. I was just in St. Thomas earlier this week. But that only happened because of federal leadership and understanding that serious climate action is actually about good jobs. Doug Ford came to the table late, and was he a partner in the end? Sure, but if you remember, when he was first elected, he canceled green energy contracts that this government has been pulled kicking and screaming to do the right things at times. So have they been an amenable partner on some things? Sure. Have they shown leadership? I think absolutely not.
Now, you say you're close to making a leadership. I'm listening to you right now. It seems pretty much you're leaning in the direction of yes. What would make you say no to a run?
I'm not sure right now. It's a good question. And I can tell you that the feedback I've had all across the province has been incredibly positive, and I think the track record of more independence in my own politics and the ability to deliver that kind of a culture in provincial politics has gone a long way to our ability to build the team. It was very important that we changed the rules to make sure there was more grassroots engagement, one member, one vote, and we now have the timeline. So I'm going to make a decision within the week, and stay tuned, yeah.
Okay, well, we will be staying tuned. And Nathaniel Erskine-Smith, thank you very much for the time.
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it.